Hey everyone, welcome back to another how to make comics video. And in this video, we're going to go over inking. And so, hopefully I'm not too loud on this. I feel like I'm kind of loud. So, the previous video, we stopped at sketching. And in this video, which will fairly be, it'll be, oh my goodness, it'll be a short video. For a second, I couldn't speak. So here's the comic script that we were creating. Captain. Oh, and I must change this because I don't know how. Oh, okay. Did I? Oh, okay. I had it on a different thing. I mean, it's Capitan in a different language. I'm not sure if it's spelled that way. But I don't know how I kept misspelling Captain. I don't know. I just kept misspelling Captain. And even after, I went through the video and I added. Well, I guess I couldn't change it because I was editing it and I was like, oh, I guess I could make a new video, but then you lose a certain energy and I'm like, and so, because even up here I have a Captain, so yeah, I don't know what was happening with me that day. So my apologies. I can spell, and not every single word, but definitely Captain. I can spell Captain. I just don't know what was going on with that. So once you've gotten your sketch, and a cool thing digitally, and I may repeat myself with this, and I apologize for that. There's so many benefits working digitally as I am right now. So with the sketch, I can lessen the, so for whatever reason, that's just a box. So is the, okay, so now, while there are benefits, there are sometimes mishaps. So usually right here, if you can look at this cursor, I can create my layers. And sometimes I would, now that's that, and the script, I would forget that I'm on a different layer and then draw a different item that I intended to be on a different layer. And if you are working digitally, you could work around that like I did. Just make a copy of the layer that you actually want to save. Combine that with the other layer, and so that way you can then delete the other layer, the duplicate, the unintentional duplicate, and still maintain your original sketch layer. All right, so that aside, and maybe I could do a video on that too as well. Some of these things I feel like they're so small and fairly insignificant. I'm like, do I need to make a video of that? And you never know. So I'll have to, as I'm talking, let me just make a note. Deleting a layer. Okay. So the cool thing with working digitally, so I can select the sketch layer, and then I can reduce the opacity. And so if you were drawing traditionally, so right here on the left, here, that's a soft pencil. So it's going to come out soft like this, right? And if you were drawing traditionally, you would use like an HB pencil That way you can sketch and it's soft and not quite as a dark pencil like this, because you wouldn't want to sketch with that because it's darker, and sketching with a softer pencil, you can erase. And of course, if you're working digitally, you don't have to erase as hard, and you won't leave behind too many of your construction lines, your sketch lines. And so it's always good to just start with a soft pencil. You work digitally, so that way you can achieve this type of opacity while you're working traditionally. So, but that's the cool thing. Working digitally, you can manipulate those kind of things on the fly, and that just saves time. So I've done that. I've reduced the opacity, and you can reduce it as much as you want. And now I'm just gonna select my ink layer. You're working traditionally, get out your ink pen. I would say try to test. I mean, in this day and age, you can YouTube the best inking pens, and so that way you don't have to do too much trial and error as far as ink fading. Because I remember, back in the 90s, creating a comic book, very, what's the word, rudimentary, but the inks fade. Like after 3 years, the inks just faded, and so I was just using an inferior pen. So here we go. So we're gonna go here. So you've reduced the opacity of your page, or you've just been using a soft pencil, and let's just say you want to fine tune your sketch. So let's make another layer, and let's call this penciling. Because when I started traditionally, I would go through this whole process. I would do a very light sketch, then I would do the pencils, and my pencils were incredibly tight. So after I did my pencils, I was basically just tracing over my work, maybe adding more shadows and stuff like that. I'll just do like a quick example here. So if I'm doing pencils, now the sketch is very loose. Usually I was sketching, my sketch would be fairly tight, and my penciling was pretty much just a prelude to my inking. And so I'm gonna come here, and so this would be my penciling, right? Try to keep a solid line, and that would be my penciling, and I would go all the way through. And then even after I do this, then I would go with my inks, and at this point, the ink is going to be darker than the pencil, and I'm not going like really hard, like say like a 6B or anything like that. I think at most maybe a 2B traditionally, because a 6B is really dark, and at that point you might as well just keep it as a pencil finish piece, and because it's so dark, to add inks would be rather redundant, in my opinion. And so now I'm going to go to my inks, and I'm just going to go right over this, right? So to save time, particularly digitally, I just do a sketch, and then from the sketch I go right into my inks. And so here you go. Semi stick fellow. And then, certain things, particularly if you have a real clear idea as far as what you're creating, you can. And once you get a good feeling on this, you can add your own little extra flair that you didn't sketch in, and so and that all comes with time and experience that you've put in, and so just little right there texture stuff that you may want to add to it, and so here we go. And I'm just purposely keeping it as simple as I possibly can. And so you get the pencils. Sometimes you may add a little extra features when you're doing your pencil work that you didn't either think of while you were while you were sketching, and and there you go. Okay. And bam. So you do that. So you have your inks right here. It may increase thickness of cavity. As I was looking at the video, I'm like, cavity looks more like a potato. It's like Mr. Potato gone bad. Okay. So there you go. So you can see, how important your sketch work is, and if depending how tight you want your sketch to be, that can influence your inking as well. It can either just save you more time. It's almost just a an allocation of your time. If you want to have your time based upon that kind of looks like a spatula. If you want your time, more utilized with sketching and getting that groundwork really finalized, then it all depends on what you want to do. So here you go. It's all inked out, and again the boards. You can ink out the boards. Now let's just say these boards were you want them more straight line, and this is really truly just a sketch. That helps as well. You have a ruler, and you look at, okay, am I cutting my my words? Am I getting my dialogue? And you can compensate for that as well. And so, of course, this is all digitally, as you can see. And of course, if you're doing it, you would use a ruler. But just trying to show you that you can, if you want a more straight edge paneling, even after you sketch it, you can do that, because you can do whatever you want. Now it's straight edges, but it's not symmetrical, but you want straight edges, and it's all about creating your own style. So all that's on inks, and then you can come here and do your dialogue. Get your dialogue balloons in, and you may find that you have more room when you're doing your inks, even with your dialogue. Okay, so here you go. And then once you're done, if you're working again digitally, you will then hide the sketch stuff, the sketching layer. Of course, traditionally you would erase it, and now you have your inks. So thanks for watching. This is Inking, how to make comics, and I may go into coloring. I'm not sure. That's so much more of an in-depth take on things. But if you just want to do black and white comics, there you go. You start off with your script, and then you sketch your panels, your characters, you create your dialogue, and then when you're ready, you apply your inks, and you erase or remove your sketch dialogues, and you have your Captain Floss Dental Wars comic strip, and it is page 1. So you do inks. There you go, page 1. And so yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. Again, leave comments if on any topic or question you may have when it comes to creating your own comic. And again, just thanks for viewing this. You can follow me on facebook.com/Michelot Comics. You can go to my Instagram page as well, at Michelot Lully, and my website, which is michelolully.com. And you can support what I do, and I appreciate your support, even at $1 a month, on my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Michelot Lully. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night, afternoon, evening, morning. Grace and peace.